Please welcome Dr. M.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you, Forth Valley Feminists, for organising this, and all the women attending. I've had the warmest welcome and hospitality from my sisters in Scotland. And on a technical note, I just want to check. Am I either shouting at you, or am I mumbling? Can you hear me? Nope, we're good. Okay. They're calling it adult entertainment, but I'm here today to talk about pornography, and how I'm proud to be a prude. So, I'd like a quick show of hands in this audience. Who is a prude? Well, it seems my work here is done. I don't need to talk. It's fine. Well, I'm going to use strong language in this talk. I will be describing rape and violence. And I think part of the way pornography has got away with it for so long is because it's not polite to talk about, and there are no polite words. So buckle up. A 23-year-old woman writing under the pseudonym Rosie Redstocking in response to Owen Jones's promoting porn as grand and dandy in The Guardian described what sex was like for her generation, what porn had done to it. She stated that she had personally experienced having my head shoved into his crotch and held down while I sucked him off, being told that my gag reflex was too strong. Couldn't I work on it? Bullied into submitting into facials I didn't want to. He said, joking, that he'd ejaculate on my face while I was asleep. Well, he wasn't joking. I woke up with him wanking over me. Bullied into trying anal, and it hurt so much I begged him to stop. He did stop, but then he complained that I was being too sensitive and it can't be that bad, and then continued to ask for it, having my hair pulled, constant requests for threesomes, and constant requests to let him film it. And on every single occasion, I felt guilty for not being a cool girl. I was letting him down, and I was a prude. Well, if it hurts women and girls, I am a weapons-grade prude. And pornography hurts everyone. It is very much my intention that at the end of this talk, there is going to be an auditorium of similarly proud prudes, and I've been lucky that you started off that way. And I'm here today to say men need to be put on notice. I and we are coming for their porn. So the violence in porn is real, and it's real violence done to real women and girls. They are real slaps, real beatings, real bruises, and real rapes that we are watching. Here is an account of a porn filming. Okay, so what are we going to do? A man standing off camera asks. Should I just beat the shit out of her? The camera moves closer, following the man we can't see like an obedient dog. From the right side of the frame, his left hand reaches out and grabs her by the top of her head. His right hand secures her under the jaw, trapping her in a vice. Her grimace fills the screen. So what do you do for a living? I work in porn. Whore? Of course. Absolute whore, right? Yes. What kind of whore? A dirty whore, a piece of shit whore. She's a little nervous, the first man considers. I'm a little nervous too, he mock confesses. I don't even want to hurt you, but I'm going to have to because my friends are here. Over the next 10 minutes, he threatens to beat her, threatens to torture her, pulls up her shirt, pulls up her skirt, hits her breasts, hits her thighs, throttles her by the neck with both hands. He humiliates her, degrades her, and makes her cry. He chokes her until she is gasping for air. He gets her to tell the camera that she is 27, and the only reason she is here on this day is because she has 2 young children to support, of whom the man then asks, and seemingly for the sole purpose of destroying her. They're going to grow up proud of you, right? The woman is becoming unmoored, and he orders her on her hands and knees and begins beating her with a leather strap that cracks across the bared skin of her backside every time he hits her, leaving angry pink welts until finally she tries to protect herself and reaches her arm around, and he stops. The camera pans to the side to find her face buried in the sofa. Can I ask you a question? She doesn't move or respond. Look at the camera, he repeats himself. And eventually she turns her head and we can see tears tracking down her cheeks, and she is shaking uncontrollably. To steal a Quentin Tarantino line, he muses, was that as good for you as it was for me? There can be no mistake, and this is when she breaks. She goes blank and her eyes disassociate. Okay, I'm going to bring in the guys now, the man announces, because you've just gone on me. And with that, the real scene and filming begins. According to a 2010 study that analyzed 304 scenes from best-selling pornography videos, 90% contained physical aggression. The targets of these displays were overwhelmingly women, and either showed pleasure or neutrality in response to the aggression. Some studies show that nearly 90% of pornography depicts violence. Here are a few porn titles and viewing figures from Pornhub, the market leader in internet pornography. No Mercy Anal Compilation, Relentless Rough Fucking, Painal, 30.3 million views. For those of you lucky enough not to be fluent in porn lingo, painal is a contraction of the words pain and anal, and the entire selling point of it is how much it's going to hurt the woman. No Mercy Painal, Gets Fucked While She Cries, 1 million views. Hardcore Piss in Throat and Face, 1.3 million views. It Hurts, It's Too Deep, Little Bunny Gets Choked and Fucked, 5.4 million views. Petite Fuck Doll Gets Choked and Fucked, 4.5 million views. I'm going to stop there, because frankly, some of you look like you're going to be sick. A whistleblower working in the Cyprus moderating office of Pornhub. Moderating office is a bit too grand language. Pornhub, a website exclusively designed to mass distribute real hardcore rape to 130 million visitors per day, and with enough pornographic content uploaded per year that it would take 169 years to watch, employed under 10 moderators per shift. To compare, Facebook employs about 15,000 moderators per shift. So our whistleblower George detailed to Lalia Micklethwaite, who runs the End Trafficking Hub campaign, how one of hundreds of pieces of evidence of sexual abuse I have personally gathered from Pornhub and delivered to law enforcement included an account made by a man in New Jersey who would prey on homeless black teenagers and film himself anally raping them for a place to stay. Their crying, screams, and protests are clearly audible in homemade videotapes. And the titles of the videos include the phrases, teen screams while getting fucked in the ass, dumb teen ass fuck for place to stay, teen runaway, first time anal she screams, I don't care if it hurts, and other such tags. They are profiting off of the pain and degradation of women. Violence operates in two different ways in mainstream pornography. On the one hand, the violence, pain, and degradation is the point. So you will see split screens, and on one side it has the girl or woman's face contorted in pain, often crying and screaming, while on the other side it's showing what's being done to her. They want to see both. And the second way is the way the women are reacting to the violence and painful act in the videos, like they love it. Slap me again, punch me again, choke me out. Well, as well as this violence being done to real women and girls, it's having a culture-wide impact of normalization. So if images and videos had no impact on behavior, then why is the global ad industry now worth $766 billion? And it's expected to hit 1 trillion by 2025. It has created a frightening and punishing sexual script for a generation who grew up consuming this. It teaches that all women are whores, or they want to be whores, that they all want it, and that they want it rough. Men are sending every woman the message, this is what you are for, and we can do it to you too. Indeed, if porn was in any way liberating for women, revenge porn as a thing just wouldn't exist. So violent sexual acts are now standard. So I'm only going to look at one, and that is choking. Fiona McKenzie, who set up We Can't Consent to This, said she's had so many women get in touch to say they have been horrified on Tinder dates by partners who have choked them for the first time during sex. If you're dating, it's expected of you. And if you don't go along with it, you're boring. You're a prude. As reported in The Guardian Women's Magazine, it shows the way the practice has become mainstream. If blindfolds and role play have veered into vanilla, then there are still plenty of sex moves, like choking, suggest women's health. Breath play, the risque new sex practice gripping millennials, was a title of a Flair article. On Elite Daily, one sex educator was quoted as saying anyone stuck in a rut could read up on how to choke your partner safely. As I don't have long, I'm going to focus on schools as a snapshot into the crisis and what men are now doing to our girls. There has been such a sharp rise in sexual assault and rapes in schools that in 2021, an urgent inquiry was ordered by the government. The resulting Ofsted report is frankly shocking. Some girls can be contacted by up to 11 boys per night asking for nudes, while a BBC investigation revealed that at least 13,000 sex offences a year between under 18s have been reported to the police in England and Wales, and that's only between 2018 and 2020. The NSPCC How Safe Are Our Children report 2020 found that girls account for around 90% of the victims of recorded rapes against 13 to 15-year-olds in England, Wales, and Scotland. Yet still these reports call it peer on peer. The homepage, Everyone's Invited, a website which has collected over 16,000 testimonies from girls and women detailing their experiences, declared that rape culture is when attitudes, behaviors, and beliefs in society have the effect of normalizing and trivializing sexual violence. One girl has shared how the first rape threat I received wasn't from the grown men on the streets, who I was taught to be scared of. It was from the boys in my class, talking about my arse and tits and how they wanted to rape me. We were 12. And they aren't just threats. Thousands upon thousands of incidents of sexual assault and rape are being committed by boys against the girls. For example, one girl told how, when I was 13 and he was almost 15, I met up with a friend's mate, purely friendship, and we went on a walk, but it started to rain. I said we could go back to mine for a little bit until his dad could pick us up. We went up to my bedroom. I'd never done anything with a boy before, and I really wasn't planning to. But he strangled me and forced his fingers inside of me whilst holding back my hands. And I begged him to stop. And I was kicking, but he was pulling at my throat. He then forced me to wank him off just to get him to stop. Tony Parsons, writing in GQ magazine, not the normal host of feminist ideas, claimed that rape culture, that term sounds like emotive hyperbole. The idea that sexual abuse of girls is now so routine behavior in our schools seems unimaginable. But rape culture turns out to be a horrifically apt way to describe the toxic misogyny now rampant among too many damaged boys who believe that sexual cruelty to women is cool, normal, and confers them status. And he was clear, the problem is porn, and he was correct. Porn has warped culture and institutions. It is how it could be argued and often accepted in rape cases that she really wanted it. It's her nature. Cases where the woman or girl who's been raped by multiple men at a time, left injured, cut and bruised, but still a jury or sometimes a judge will decide that actually she's lying. She wanted that. She likes it rough. Juries and judges, solicitors, barristers who use porn, how can women trust our justice system? How can they see us as equal and human and not just a collection of bits for their pleasure? Police officers who are porn users, how can we trust them to enforce the law and keep us safe? School teachers, none are asked if they masturbate to violence against teen girls before they are allowed to teach teen girls in the classroom. I do not want to live in a culture where sexual violence and humiliation of girls and women is considered a legitimate form of male entertainment.